if you're not a fan of white accents on your S550 Mustang, then Vividline's Reverse Light LED is a great way to fix that. This little bulb will double as a fourth brake light and as a running light, so the white diffuser located in the center of your rear bumper cover will remain red unless you're backing up. Now the install is plug and play and everything is pre-wired and plugged up already for you, so the install gets an easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on my patented difficulty meter, and it should take you about 30 minutes to get the job done. Now, as you can see, the LED bulb in this kit is pretty heavy duty. It's actually going to last around 100,000 hours, so it's safe to say that it's never going to need to be replaced. It's actually very bright, a lot brighter than the factory bulb located in that diffuser. Now, the nice part about that is that this is compatible with any other light mods you've already installed. It'll work just fine with any aftermarket taillights you've got because that light harness for that bulb is entirely separate, and it'll work with sequential taillights for that same reason. So there's no worries there. Now, $80, you might be thinking that the price is a tad high, but you've got to consider that this previously simple and, let's face it, kind of ugly light is now getting some added functionality, both as a brake light and as a running light. Plus, again, everything is pre-wired for you, and you're getting a pretty nice wiring harness at that. Everything's sleeved, everything's pre-connected, so it makes the job really easy. I think that this is a nice investment, especially if you're replacing that factory bulb for any reason. I think you might as well get an upgrade that looks cool. Now, like I said, install is again very easy. I'm gonna hop into one of our own S550s to show you how the job is done. So let's head over to our garage and we'll get started. For this install, you're gonna need the following tools: flathead screwdriver, 1/4 inch ratchet, 3/8 inch ratchet, 13mm socket with extension, mini flathead, and for cars equipped with the shaker subwoofer, a T20 Torx bit and a T40 Torx bit, optional air ratchet, and impact gun. All right, now that we have our S550 in the bay, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and pop our trunk, and we're gonna remove the plastic liner just on the inside of the trunk. All right, so with our trunk open, we want to remove this plastic piece right here. There are 4 little caps inside of here. Ours only has 1 because we work on these cars all the time, but yours should have 4. You're just going to want to hand loosen those, take them out like this, and then pull this plastic trim piece out. All right, so with that plastic trim piece right here removed, the next step is peeling away our carpet behind our taillights to allow us to access some of that wiring harness that we need. Now, our car is equipped with the shaker system. I'm gonna show you how to remove that. It's very easy, but first, let's go ahead and pop out these 2 plastic retention clips. All right, getting the shaker subwoofer out of the way is pretty simple. You're gonna need a T40 bit and you're gonna need a T20 bit to remove the screws on the plastic in here. All right, the next step is pretty simple. We're just gonna remove this plastic trim piece that we just took the screws out of. We're gonna expose the 2 13mm mounting bolts that hold the shaker in the trunk. You don't actually need to unwire anything. You just need to pull these 2 bolts out and you can actually move the shaker out of the way to access the wiring that we need. All right, so with our shaker moved out of the way, we can actually peel back our carpet here. Once you peel your carpet back, you can actually slide your hand back here and you can get to that wiring harness that we need. You can pull this connector loose right here. All right, then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. All right, now it's time for us to install our wiring harness for our 4th brake light. Now this interfaces with our taillights and our existing wiring harness. It's very simple. You're going to take the side with the relay, you're going to put that over here on the passenger side. On the driver's side, you're going to take this far end here, you're going to line these connections up with the connections you just unplugged, and you're actually going to hook them up in line. So you're going to take the big end here on our new harness, plug it into the taillight, And then you're going to take the small end on our new harness, plug it into the big end on the car side of the wiring harness. Just like that. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for the other side with the relay side of our new wiring harness. Again, take the big male connector, plug it into the car side of the harness, like so. Take the female end of our new connector, plug it into the male end on the taillight itself. All right, so that's it. Our wiring harness is all connected. The next step is tucking all our wiring away and make it look nice and neat. Then we're going to be working underneath the car so we can install our new bulb. All right, so we put our car up on the lift so we can kind of show you what we're working with down here. Now make no mistake, you can do this in your driveway. We're just making sure we can show you everything. Now, when you put the wiring underneath the trunk, you might have noticed there's a little hole here on the passenger side. You're actually gonna feed that red wire from your harness down through that hole, and this is what's gonna connect with the bulb here in the rear bumper cover. All right, the next part is unplugging the bulb from the rear bumper cover. It's really easy, you just gotta turn it and take it out. All right, with our light bulb housing pulled from the bumper, we're gonna go ahead and separate the light bulb holder from the wiring harness. You just wanna depress this little tab here and it should slide right out. Now the next step here is removing a rubber grommet on the wiring harness to make way for that red wire. Our car's already missing that, so we're good to go. However, when you do that, you're gonna use the little screwdriver included with the kit. You're gonna come through the connector right here, and you're just gonna push out, and it's gonna get rid of that rubber grommet for you. All right, so with that little rubber grommet out of the way, the next step is installing that red wire for your new light. Real simple, just take it and push it through the center here, and you're all set. All right, you are finally ready to install your new light. It's really easy. Just go ahead and take your bulb housing. You're gonna pop your bulb out. It's just held in with a little pressure. Just wiggle it out, pull it out like that. Grab your new LED and pop it in just the way the original came out. Once that's all set up, it's just a matter of reconnecting it to your wiring harness. All right, the last step here, we're just gonna go ahead and take our new LED, plug it back into our rear bumper cover. All right, now we just gotta go ahead and tuck all our wiring back up through here. Your car should have a rubber grommet for this hole to make sure none of that wiring falls back out. All right, so our car's back on the ground and our install's technically finished as far as the light itself goes. Now I went ahead and opened up the door here and I hit the start button to make sure it lights up and it's working just fine. So for this car, since it has that subwoofer, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall all that, pop our carpet back in and put our plastic retainer back in the trunk. All right guys, and that wraps up our install of our fourth brake light and running light from Vividline. I'm Travis, thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.